Welcome back. Those of you who just watched a terrific game. Auburn knocking off #1 Florida 36-33. We'll see you again at halftime. Right now, we want to take you out to a 3-0 game. Penn State has the lead over Michigan.
To a crowd that is expected to go close to 107,000 roar as Michigan comes out onto the field. And Penn State will kick off after driving from the 20 down to the 12 and settling for the 24-yard field goal from Conway to lead it 3-0. It will be Seth Smith and Damani Toomer, the deep people for Michigan. Smith is 86, Toomer 18. They're both wide receivers. Brett Conway will kick off into the wind. And it'll be interesting to see what impact the wind might have on this kick if he gets it up. It's not a big wind, but it will cause some swirling here, and undoubtedly will impact punts more than these kinds of things.
Saw what Penn State did into that wind. 6 runs, 5 passes.
Yep. From the 4-yard line, it's Seth Smith. Penalty flags are flying, and Smith is buried short of the 10-yard line. You can't hesitate when the headhunters are coming, and they got him quickly. Here's Tom Quinn, the referee, to define the first penalty flag of the day. It's against Michigan. And so the Wolverines are going to start in tough country behind Todd Collins, 6'5", 216-pound senior out of Walpole, Massachusetts. And his numbers are not far off those of his counterpart, Terry Collins at Penn State. They are remarkably alike, both standing 6'5". Todd is not quite as big as Terry. He gives away about 20 pounds in that matchup.
Both are underappreciated. As I mentioned, they are 1-2 in the Big Ten standings as far as quarterback efficiency is concerned. Both accurate passers.
Tyrone Wheatley and Jay Foster will open in the backfield for Michigan, and they are both standing in the end zone as the Wolverines will snap it from their own 4-yard line. Penn State to a 3-0 lead on the first possession. Todd Collins' first pass is completed to Toomer, and Damani Toomer runs across the 20 and clears the 25, and Michigan has some daylight. There's what we mean when we say there's remarkable similarity between these two, not only physically, but what they have done on the field.
29 touchdowns apiece. That time, Michigan opening up, throwing it out to Toomer. One-on-one on Pittman, and he made a move in a big game, got him out of the hole.
Gelsizer calls a defensive change. Michigan sends Smith in motion, and Collins dumps it off. Here comes Seth Smith, the freshman from Carbondale, Illinois, out to the 34-yard line. He picked up a little over 8 on the carry. Here are the rest of the people in the offense for Michigan now. Wheatley is the obvious man, the celebrated tailback, just now rounding into form after a separated shoulder. Toomer Hayes and a former quarterback, Reamer is the tight end and a very good receiver.
Gary Moeller's calling the plays, coming out throwing on the first 2 plays for Michigan. I think it's a good move. Loosen up that defense. Go to your strength with Collins.
2nd down and 2. They again go to Toomer. The Penn State defender slipped and fell. And Damani Toomer turns in another big play. Pittman slipped and went down to his knees. That left Toomer all alone, and Damani Toomer is too good of an athlete. He'll stick it in the end zone on you.
Toomer is 6'4". Pittman is 5'8". Puts a move. The last time he went outside, same route. This time he faked outside and went inside. That's some easy completions for the Wolverines, who have yet to throw, or yet to run. All 3 have been passes.
And they have it first down at the Penn State 42-yard line. Kim Herring has checked into the defensive secondary now for Penn State, replacing Cliff Dingle, who's working with a sore knee. Contact before the snap. Second foul. He's pointing at Penn State, being a little too jumpy. Duffy. The offensive front for Michigan, Jenkins, Runyon, Payne, Marinaro, and Twine. The group just beginning to come together.
It's well put, Keith. All of them, no seniors on that group. The offensive line is playing a lot better.
1st and 5. Here's your first run. It's Wheatley. And they track him down after he picks up maybe a yard, no more. The Penn State defense is not marked by a lot of all-stars. Gelsheiser is anybody's all-star. But this is a bunch of guys that will do their job the way they're coached to do it. They will stay at home, and they will knock your hat off. They are tough people who play together well. Dingle and Holes now. Dingle's had a sore knee. Holes a sore shoulder. They're both out of the ball game right now with Jason Collins and Kim Herring at the safety spot.
They're blue-collar types. They are pluggers, to quote their coordinators. Jerry Sandusky says, we're just a bunch of pluggers.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. Right. You bet. Nobody ever caught those guys in the black shoes either. On 2nd down and 5. You had the whistles. It looks like this time the flag will go against Michigan.
False start. Offense.
Go the Wolverines. Back up 5, and here's Lynn Swan.
Well, Keith, Bob Greasy talked earlier about the first quarter and how successful Penn State is in the first quarter. In order for Michigan to win here this afternoon, they're going to have to break a bad habit. That is, they've only scored 13 points in 5 ball games in the first quarter and have always had to come from behind. So they really need to get on the scoreboard quickly in this ball game. Keith?
Well, they've got to quit bouncing around and settle in and retain their poise and go about their business in a workmanlike manner, because if there is anything about a Penn State football team that always is a constant, is that they go about their business. They're not fancy, but they just simply do what they're supposed to do. Here's Todd Collins underneath to Amani Toomer, who gets away and has a first down inside the 30-yard line. Put it on the 25 of Penn State. First down, Michigan.
Well, Moeller may have known that stat that Lynn Swan was just talking about, not scoring many points in the first quarter. And it's the passing game from inside their own 15-yard line that has moved Michigan now inside the 25-yard line, maybe inside about the 25.
Actually started on their 4 after that penalty.
Collins is 4 of 4 for 71 yards.
Toomer has caught 3 for 21, 25, and 17. First down, Wolverines at the Lions' 25. Wheatley. They cut him off at the pass pretty well. He had to jump over his blocking fullback, Shea Foster, and that took away all of his momentum. And Biaka Batuka now comes into the ball game for Michigan, number 21. Tim Biaka Batuka, 6'1", 205, a sophomore out of Quebec, where he learned to play the game of football. I had to put a rope around one of the ankles of Bob Greasy because Purdue's leading Wisconsin late in the ball game.
Purdue's tied for the lead in the Big Ten Conference. I got to say that.
2nd down and 10. It's been a while. This is up the middle. Biaka Batuka to the 12-yard line and a first down. The slashing speed he brings.
Well, you're exactly right. He is a slasher. He's a north-south runner. Watch as he goes straight up the field. Whereas Wheatley, his counterpart, is more of a power runner and likes to get to the outside. I think it's a nice contrast in the 2 running backs that Michigan has for him. Here's what Michigan has done inside the 20. They've scored 26 of 29 times, but only 14 have been touchdowns. That ratio for touchdowns is not real good.
Penn State is leading 3-0, 6:50 to go, first quarter. First possession for Michigan started on the 4. Biaka Batuka gets a yard, maybe 2 to the 10. There he's taken down, and coming out of the secondary on the first hit is Kim Herring, the free safety. So put the ball at the 10, 2nd down and 8. Incidentally, Biaka Batuka's mother is here today, seeing her son play in college football for the first time. And he is the single back right now for the Wolverines. Hayes and Toomer are the wideouts. Matuka in the middle in traffic. And there's a classic example of what I meant a while ago when I said Penn State's people stay at home. There was no lane. There was no opening.
Like I said before, they may not be a dominating defense, but they are solid. They know their responsibilities, and they fulfill their responsibilities. And there's a look at Jerry Sandusky. He's just, he says, we're just a bunch of blue-collar guys, you know, just pluggers. We just do our job. They lost 8 starters from last year's team, and he has come back with a solid defense again this year.
It is 3rd down and 7 from the 9. Riemersma, the tight end, is moving around. He's a big target. The ball's thrown toward him, and he can't reach it. Collins let it go. Had to, because there were people in his face. And it's going to bring up 4th down and Remy Hamilton into the ball game for the field goal drive. So interesting that these two teams, in their initial possessions of the ball game, Penn State made a 24-yarder, and right now Remy Hamilton, who has 9 consecutive field goals, he is going to try one from outside the 15. Now, this will be a 26-yarder. Riemersma, former quarterback, now playing tight end, is the holder. Kick is up, and it hit the upright and bounced away. No good. I don't believe that Riemersma got that snap down cleanly. It looked like he had to kind of reach for it. And he broke his rhythm, and the ball hits the upright. So Michigan comes away empty after a drive that started on their own score.
This is one long game.
They even ran out of food.
The fans must be hungry.
I'll tell you about hungry.
When it's gotta be good and it's gotta be now. Pick up the phone, we're gonna knock you out.
Call for a large, 2-topping, crunchy, thin.
There is a difference. Put the ball on the 20. Katana Carter and John Whitman in the backfield for Penn State behind Kerry Collins. Nittany Lions have a 3-0 lead after Michigan misses the field goal. And Carter carries. And the pickup is about 4. This may be here another look at the field goal try. I thought Riemersma may not have gotten it down cleanly. It looks all right there, doesn't it?
Like the laces may have been facing the kicker a little bit. Kickers don't like that. On short kicks, it usually doesn't make much of a difference. Riemersma, the next quarterback, has been holding for the last couple of years.
It's Carter again. Searches through and finds his way to the 35-yard line and a 1st down. So Kajana Carter seemingly running with all the abandon that he had before he broke the thumb. Monday night, an AFC West showdown between 2 of the great ones in the game, John Elway and the Denver Broncos, hosting Joe Montana and the Kansas City Chiefs. The Broncos have had a hard start, and Joe's gimpy. But I imagine they'll be there.
Kind of run dry for the Chiefs, scoring touchdowns. They need to. They need to stay and win some games. San Diego's taking off.
That's the tight end Kyle Brady, a 6'6", 260-pound senior from New Cumberland, Pennsylvania, making the grab. And I think you'll hear his name quite a bit before this day is done.
Number 81, he's checking. A little delay. Let the fullback go in front of you. Randy Ganner, the offensive coordinator, says he is the best blocking tight end ever at Penn State. He also has caught 53 passes and 8 touchdowns in his career. Very good player.
2nd down. This is the fullback, John Whitman, 6'3", 238 pounds, out of Wrightsville, PA, and he just picked up a Penn State first down. These two fullbacks, Whitman and Milne, killed Southern California. They just tore them up, which is another big football team, and they're going to put that hat on the Michigan defenders a lot today. There's the other guy, number 22, Ryan Milne. Whitman's 238, Milne 253.
They will wear you down.
First down, Lions midfield. Terry Collins, good fake. Man is wide open. Freddie Scott, first down, Lions, Michigan 32.
This is an outstanding fake. Play action will hold the linebackers. You see 37 Irons, he went the other way. The whole middle of the field is going to be open where Irons, the middle linebacker, is supposed to be. Just good play action faking.
Fourth different receiver to make a catch for Penn State. Lions lead it 3-0. This is their second possession of the ball game. Mike Archie, number 2, carries and picks up a good 5 yards just following the offensive surge. He got in behind Harding, Conlon, and Brady. And those are 3 tough guys. Harding 290, 275, Conlon 301, and Brady 260. At the end of the ball game, Genuine Chevrolet, most valuable players of the game from each team. 24th year, Chevrolet has participated in this program. Second down and 6. Steve Morrison now with 5 tackles as Kerry Collins throws under pressure. Foul Brady, tied in, fighting for the first down, and may have reached the marker. There were 2 people back there that had a piece of Kerry Collins, but remember, he's 6'5", 235. He doesn't just roll over. Carr and Zekowitz were the 2 Michigan people who had a hold of him.
Just a nice job of making something out of nothing. Here's a look at Michigan in the nation. Unaccustomed numbers for Michigan. 98th in passing, 76th in total defense. Those numbers are not used to being Michigan defensively. They're much better usually.
It's another first down for Penn State. 2 minutes and 23 seconds remaining to play in the first quarter. Michigan had the ball for 1 possession. Went from their 4 down and missed on a 26-yard field goal try. Penn State had the opening possession. This is their second, so Michigan may not see the ball again in the first quarter.
There are the numbers for Penn State offensively in the nation. That's what the Michigan defense is going up against.
John Carter back in. Terry Collins throws. The ball got away. Slipped out of his hands and sailed away over the head of Kyle Brady, number 81, the tight end, on a post pattern. And he was, if you wondered, available. Yes, he was.
Was again, as I mentioned, these first 25, 30 plays are scripted. They go over them late in the week, Wednesday and Thursday. That gives the offensive line, the wide receivers, the backs, the quarterback, the confidence. They go over them at night. They study them. They go over all the different possibilities. That's why they're so successful at the beginning of the ball game.
Gary Collins, 6 out of 9, 61 yards here in the first quarter. That's Freddie Scott. Giving it to John Carter, looking for a block on the corner. Will find his way to about the 21. And Matt Dyson held up well under the blocking, spoiled it, and made the tackle. Kajana Carter now has run 6 times for 43 yards.
Carter is so tough to bring down, Keith. He's 5'10", about 220 pounds. 2 weeks ago, he dislocated that thumb, had surgery, and now he's out here playing. Tough kid.
Third down and 9. From the Michigan 21, Mike Archie is the deep back.
They come.
Archie gets the ball out there all by himself. He's a tailback. And he's down inside the 5. First and goal, Penn State at the Michigan 3-yard line. Chuck Winters saved the touchdown.
The 2 linebackers on the inside were blitzing. I don't know whose responsibility this was. If the linebackers were supposed to blitz, one of the safeties have to come up and make that play. But good read by Collins and a nice play by Archie. Penn State inside the 5.
Another time-consuming possession for Penn State. This is their 11th play. They ran 12 plays in their initial possession for 3 points. Now you've got both those big fullbacks in there, Mills and Whitman. And you give it to, no, the quarterback flips it to the tight end, Olshamer. Keith Olshamer for the touchdown.
First down is a great down to throw on the goal line. Little play action, holds the linebackers. The tight end, Collins, a 5th-year senior, has been in this situation, doesn't overthrow it, just knows he has to lob it in. Easy score.
Brett Conway for the extra point. And it's good. With just 46 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play, Penn State steps out to a 10-0 lead over Michigan. Ball twice, scored both times, field goal and touchdown. Michigan had 1 possession and missed the field goal. It is Seth Smith, a yard deep in the end zone. And comes to the 19 and stops rather abruptly right there. That's where Michigan will go to work. So Michigan once again rather poor field position.
East of the Texas Hill Country in Austin, there's a place that just won't let you go home hungry. It's called Threadgill's. And here you might find yourself behind a great big chicken fried steak, a mountain of red beans and rice, or even a microphone. So if you go, bring your appetite for a good time and your Visa card. Because Threadgill's might let you take the stage, but they won't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
It could only come from here. Canada, the home of ice. Molson Ice. Ice brewed by North America's oldest brewery to be colder and bolder. Yet smooth as ice. Molson Ice. From the land where ice was born. Watch your favorite action-adventure show, you won't have to sit so close to the screen. Because there's more leg room in the front of a Chevy S-Series than in most full-size trucks. Chevy trucks, like a rock.
Well, let's see what the Michigan offense can do now, if they can respond. They did their first possession. 41 seconds remaining now in the first quarter, 10-0, Penn State leading. They continue to jump all over people in the first quarter, and Michigan continues to be relatively inept, or at least quiet in the first quarter in scoring. This is Tyrone Wheatley carrying for about 4 yards. We now check in with John Saunders.
Well, Keith, as you know, a team on probation with a big win. That was Auburn. How about Washington? Damon Heward, Ernie Conwell gets it to the end zone for the touchdown. 34 yards. Washington leads it 10-0. Keith.
Huskies figure to win that one with relative ease, I would think. Second down, 6 for Michigan. The ball is out of the 23. Wheatley's the deep man. Hayes and Toomer of the wideouts. And obviously Todd Collins was willing to let the clock expire and will change directions on the field. With Penn State leading Michigan by a score of 10-0.
Wayne Winfield and Ron Williams two of the most heavily recruited high school kids in the country. Of course, if it wasn't for their game, it was for their minds.
Second quarter of play. Penn State leading 10-0. Michigan's ball. Second down and 6. And Wheatley, looking for the outside, will lose on the play as Phil Yeboah-Cody steps in there and makes the hit. Yeboah-Cody had 4 individual tackles in Michigan's first possession. So he makes another one. That's 5 for him today.
That's what happened in the first quarter. Penn State had the ball twice, Michigan only once. So they had a lot more plays. 153 yards to 91 and almost 2-1 in time of possession. 2 long drives. Michigan had 1 long drive. The difference, Penn State converted, got points on both. Michigan missed the field goal.
Biakabatuka is back in at the tailback position. He's the man in motion now. And Todd Collins rolls looking for the deep play. Has to go underneath on it. The penalty flag is thrown. Amani Toomer being covered by a linebacker, and that's a mismatch. Willie Smith flagged on the play for pass interference. If it is, in fact, pass interference, it's a 15-yard penalty and a first down. If it's holding, it's 10 yards. It is pass interference.
Smith, pointing to himself, says, yes, it was me. Here's a look from behind the quarterback. Great look. You get to see what he's looking around. See, throws it away from the defensive man. Smith, one of the leaders on this defensive team, an outstanding player.
So flip the marker and make it a first down at the 27-yard line. From the spot, actually makes it only a 4-yard penalty, but the important thing, of course, is to flip the marker over and make it a first down. Biakabatuka with a hard, tough run. Good for 9 yards. Crosses the 35 and gets to the 36.
The impressive thing about Biakabatuka is that he's got the flash and the slash and the quickness, but when he's going to get hit, when it comes down to bang it in there, he covers up the ball and makes sure that the ball doesn't come out.
Remusma checks back into the lineup now at tight end, and Vanderleest comes out for Michigan. And it's second down and 1. One of those plays where you might be tempted to go big.
Single coverage down here.
Looking back to Biakabatuka, turns his back, spins into the crowd, comes away with a first down, loses the ball, and Penn State recovers it. Jason Collins, the strong safety, recovered it. Michigan digging a hole.
Well, watch number 8. That's Collins. Jason Collins. He's not only going to recover it, but he's going to strip him from the ball. He's got a good hold on it right here. Now he's pulling. He's got another safety there. So if he doesn't get the ball, the other man will tackle him. It's a smart play by Collins.
And it's first down, Penn State at the Michigan 38-yard line. The Lions lead 10-0. Just beginning the third quarter with Carter and Whitman. And Kerry Collins goes to the sideline to the big tight end Brady. Brady gets past the marker and a first down at just inside the 27, close to the 26. Dion Johnson at 6'2", 209, wrestling with a 6'6", 260-pound Brady.
You'll see the passing leaders, quarterbacks in the nation. Kerry Collins leads it. Todd Collins is 6th. What a machine this Penn State offense is as you take a look at Todd Collins on the sideline.
To John Carter. Picks up a couple of yards to the 25. The biggest news of the day so far was Auburn beating Florida in Gainesville, mind you, in the swamp.
How many turnovers for Florida? 6 or 7?
That is Dion Johnson hurt on the play for Michigan. So timeout for Johnson at 12:53 to play in the first half, and Penn State leading Michigan 10-0.
In the U.S., there are over 200 million bumps, potholes, and cobblestones. In the newest Lexus ES300, there are over 96 systems and components specifically designed to isolate vibrations. 200 million versus 96. Sounds fair. The 1995 ES300. Let others follow.
You get older. You get smarter. You get Bayer. It relieves the inflammation of arthritis when taken regularly. Just ask your doctor. You get older, you get smarter. You get Bayer.
What do these women think about the new Sicilian-style pizza from Pizza Hut? Wow, they love it! New Sicilian-style pizza from Pizza Hut. Basil, oregano, garlic baked right in for a pizza crust like never before for only $8.99.
In 1895,
The White comes to the line of scrimmage. Second down and about 8. The ball is on the 25-yard line. Righty Scott's a man in motion. Kajana Carter has it, carrying it in the left hand. The right hand is the one that was injured. He gets safely around the corner, turns on the jets and goes inside the 10. It's first and goal to go Penn State. Ty Law made the tackle.
Take a look from the other side of the field. Tight end's going to get a good block. Brady. Harding's the guard, is going to get a block, number 50. The two wide receivers are down there working. Nobody touches Carter until he gets about 10 yards downfield.
First and goal. The ball is on the 7-yard line. Deion Johnson checks back in. Ty Law comes out to cover Bobby Ingram. Handed up the middle. And it's Kajana Carter butting heads and falling inside the 5-yard line. Joe was really cranky in the Temple ball game. I mean, he kicked some rear ends that day, and even though they won rather easily, he thought that people were not doing the whole job.
Well,
and he got them stirred up for that week off.
He admits they haven't played a tough schedule. He says, we'll find out how good we are here today.
It's second down and goal just inside the 5. This is Carter. Touchdown, penalty flag. Hold the phone. Let's see what the flag's about. Holding Penn State, no TD. Bring it back. Referee Tom Quinn trailing the play through the flag. Oh, that's a mistake. That costs him a touchdown. Going to back him up at least 10, maybe 13 yards.
And the offensive line, watch the right side of the screen. 53, that's the Conlon, the strong side tackle, and the official, the referee, threw the flag right in that area.
So the ball comes back to the 16-yard line. And it's about a 12-yard penalty. Mike Archie now is the tailback, and he goes in motion. Good receiver, remember. Gary Collins getting pressure, turns upfield and taken down at the 14. Steve Morrison, number 36, made the tackle for Michigan. That's 8 in the ball game for him.
Steve Morrison, a linebacker that is not real big and not real fast. He's a fifth-year senior. He's out there because of his smarts, his savvy. He knows where to go. He led this team in tackles 2 years ago. Last year, a lot of injuries kept him out of the lineup.
Penn State leading 10-0. At 10:55 to go in the first half. They've had 6 different people catch a ball, 5 different people run the ball. It is third down and 14 on the Michigan 14, and Kerry Collins swings the ball out to Archie. And Mike Archie will get back to the 10, and it'll be 4th down. And Penn State's kicking team will come on.
Well, they go from a touchdown on the hold, and Michigan holds. It's a big play by the Wolverines to go from what was 7 points to maybe only 3.
Or maybe not. Maybe that's the bad luck end of the field. This is where the Michigan kicker Hamilton hit the goal post. Brett Conway kicked the 24-yarder in the very first possession of the ball game. Everything looks good and is good. He hit it with considerable authority, and exactly 10 minutes to play in the first half. The score grows to 13-0 for Penn State.
They created their microprocessor in 1971, and the faster their chips have performed, the faster their company has grown. Today, the Intel design is the brains behind 2/3 of the world's PCs. By the 21st century, Intel expects their chip to execute 2 billion instructions in 1 second. Where do you find such fast-thinking companies? Actually, there's a list of them printed every day. NASDAQ, the stock market for the next 100 years.
In the U.S., there are over 200 million bumps, potholes, and cobblestones. In the newest Lexus ES300, there are over 96 systems and components specifically designed to isolate vibrations. 200 million versus 96. Sounds fair. The 1995 ES300. Let others follow.
There's no place on earth that I'd rather be than out in the open where it's all plain to see that the land is pure, untamed and free. There's no place that I'd rather be. So come on along and head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush Beer.
13-0, the Nittany Lions from Happy Valley leading the Michigan Wolverines. And the big house is kind of quiet right now, except for about 5,000 or 6,000 blue and white folks down there in one of the end zones. As you look at the field, the one to the right. Brett Conway will kick it away now, and Seth Smith, Amani Toomer, the wide receivers, will wait for the kick for Michigan. 24-yard field goal, 28-yard field goal so far in this game for Conway. Long kick. Wind helping a little bit. Smith downs it. Comes out to the 20, where Michigan will go to work next Saturday. ABC's college football presentation at 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central. You'll have Michigan going down to Champaign, Illinois. That's a tough place for a sore team to win. You'll have UCLA, Arizona, Washington, Oregon out west. There'll be other games that will be chosen later. So check your local listings and call your cable operator for the games available on pay-per-view next Saturday here on ABC Sports. All right, Wheatley is the deep man, the tailback. This is Michigan's best starting point for a possession so far in the game. Exactly 10 minutes to go in the first half. Wheatley tries to come back and finds 5 yards out of it.
Michigan going to a 2 tight end, 1 back offense with 2 wide receivers to try and get some running room for their tailbacks.
There hasn't been much. The only room they had for a running back was what Biakavatuka found early on in his first carry up the middle.
Yep. Todd Collins is 4 of 5 for 71 yards for Michigan.
Wheatley's only gained 9 yards in his 5 carries so far. Second down and 5. Tyrone's got it again. Bounces outside. And they cut him off a little bit short of the first down, and a penalty flag is thrown. Ryan Miller dragged him down a yard short of the first down marker. And it looks like a penalty against Michigan. Yep, illegal use of hands.
You know that Florida lost. A lot of them playing later on today.
Florida State's not playing. Arizona is at Washington State. A ball game that has a good bit of meaning out on the West Coast.
Wisconsin is losing to Purdue. Baylor is losing. All right, second down and 10 now after the penalty. Wheatley gets back to the 20, and that'll do it. Mazik, Clare, Atkins, Perry, Scioli. They sort of bend a little bit, and then they step back. Jerry Sandusky calling his defensive signals to the team on the field. Penn State coaching staff, one of the in tenure right around the tops in the country. Nebraska and Penn State lead the country in that particular category, with their coaches staying where they are. No move. Todd Collins looks down the middle and throws, and the ball is dropped by Amani Toomer. He was in traffic, no question about it, but there was nobody between him and his quarterback, and the ball was right between the 1 and the 8. Watch what Penn State is doing. They're putting an extra back right here. It's called a robber. The man's going to come down and run the square in, but watch the man in the middle of the field. Michigan all week has been concerned about the robber. It's a square in, and the robber was right there. Yeah, but there was nobody between them, Toomer and the ball. That's true, but all week they've been alerted for that. High punt by Craig Baker, and not very well done. Slithers off the side of the foot. Only a 24-yard punt. Things are not going well for the home team.
After all, you only go around once.
So where's the fire offer?
Where's my father? Papa, look what came. My acceptance letter to college.
College is a wonderful thing, mind.
You can have a fine life here. What do you need from college?
Remember how we talked about my going away to college? I know what you're going to say. But at college, they have professors from all over the world. And it'll all help me with my wanting to be a writer. Hey, kid, what are you going to write about?
For over 150 years, America's universities have given kids from everywhere the chance to pursue their dreams through an education. And what their dreams have given back to us is immeasurable.
So what do you think?
Of Michigan first down. Their first possession, they came away with 3. Then they got the touchdown, and then another field goal after a touchdown was called back because of penalty. Now they're rolling downhill from this starting point. The pass gets completed to the big tight end, Kyle Brady. And Brady goes all the way down to the Michigan 20. That is his 4th catch in the ball game. And you just knew this big guy was going to have a big day. You can just smell it coming.
He blocks, slow blocks. The man that's supposed to be covering him is the strong safety. Thompson was fooled by the play action. That's why the play action of Collins was so good. He should have been the strong safety. Thompson should have been covering Brady.
But the ball is on the 20. First down for Penn State. Gary Collins gives it to Donna Carter, and Carter adds to his total. He has his 10th carry, and he picks up about 6 yards there, so he'll have 71 yards. We go now to John Saunders.
Keith, Washington, we showed you their offense, doing it on defense as well. Jake Plummer makes a mistake. Ink Aliaga steps in front of it, takes it the distance for the touchdown on the interception. They missed the point after, 16-0. In the Southwest Conference, Baylor trailing Texas A&M by 10, 24-14.
Here it is 2nd down and 4. 7:20 to go in the first half. Penn State threatening again. The ball goes up the middle of the fullback, Milne, the big junior out of Waterford, Pennsylvania. And he's close to the 10-yard line, but about a yard short of the first down. The Penn State tight end so far in the ball game, 5 catches, 47 yards, 1 touchdown. And Steve Morrison, the middle backer for Michigan, has now reached double figures. He has 11 tackles. That tells you one thing I think that is really significant, that the offensive front of Penn State is nullifying the down people for the Michigan defense.
They have huge splits, unusually large splits in that offensive line.
Kajana Carter, it's Morrison again. Jason Horn on the bottom, Trent Zenkowitz, and Morrison flying over the top.
Michigan defensively, their defensive line will do a lot of slanting. Watch Morrison, number 36. The offensive line takes on the blocks. Morrison jumps over the block of Milne, number 22, and makes the play. Penn State's going for it on 4th down.
4th and 2. And the home crowd comes up roaring. Kerry Collins with a long count, trying to get Michigan to jump. And then he calls timeout.
Nice try.
People tell us we beat up our trucks more in our commercials than they'd ever dream of. Well, they should be on one of our assembly lines when we snatch a truck at random and literally rip it limb from limb to test every body weld in a Chevy truck, all 1,437 of them. But for those of you who think there's too much violence on TV, these next few seconds are for you. Time's up.
Dean Witter believed in listening.
Listen, not only to what our clients say, but what they mean. Each client has a level of comfort. Endeavor to find it. We measure success one investor at a time.
My dandruff and itch are awful. I'll try anything. Denorex tingles. Head and Shoulders doesn't.
Both have effective dandruff medicine, but Denorex has something extra that tingles, feels fresh.
That's why I started using Denorex. No flakes, no itch.
Denorex, the serious dandruff shampoo.
Brett Conway is in the ball game for the field goal try for Penn State. He has 24. He has 28. This was from the 19, so this is a 29-yarder. And if he's successful, Penn State will have scored on every possession. And he got it. And so at 5:49 to play in the first half, the Nittany Lions lead 16-0. Be the next opposition for these Michigan Wolverines next Saturday at Champaign.
Penn State also has to go to Champaign to play Illinois.
November 12th, where it can be really cold and windy.
There is no doubt that the
Pork Day.
Pork Day, that's the most important thing. The best defense in the conference is down in Champaign. No question about that.
Brett Conway to belt it. Penn State has been impressive here in this first half of play. They came into the ball game ranked 3rd in the nation. Michigan ranked 5th in the nation. Number 1 Florida has been defeated. Nebraska won. The win helps. The ball goes deep in the end zone, and Seth Smith will down it. And once again, Michigan will come out to the 20. Tonight, Bob Saget stars in the ABC family movie Father and Scout. All those memories come flooding back. And then Michael Chiklis stars as the commission here on ABC tonight.
The Wolverines have never come back to win after being down more than 14 points. They're down 16-0 here at the 5-minute mark. of the second quarter. Michigan needs to throw the ball, Keith. They need to get back to throwing. They threw the ball well on their first drive. They're not getting anything done running the football.
Tyrone Wheatley is in the backfield, and Todd Collins lets it go to the tight end, Remersma. And Remersma has a first down for Michigan at the 38-yard line. When Jay Remersma was at quarterback in the backup position, he was lean and lanky. Now he's 6'6" and 252.
And he's just going to run a little square in into the center of the field. Fake run on first down. Remersma puts a nice move. There's nobody underneath or between he and Collins. Michigan needs to throw the ball to move it.
Both tight ends are wandering around kind of loose today. Ball dropped, picked up by Wheatley, and kind of lucky to get it back. We got some scuffling going on between two players, Mazik of Penn State and John Runyon of Michigan. Two big linemen got tangled up, ran out of patience. But they stopped the scuffle. A little pushing and shoving. Loss on the play of a yard. It is second down and 11.
And Smith, the linebacker, number 52, on an inside blitz, knocked the ball loose.
Todd Collins throws again down the middle. Again, it is good. It's Amani Toomer, number 18, the junior from Berkeley, California. And it's a first down for the Wolverines at the Penn State 43.
You've got to try to run because that sets up that play-action pass and the square ends. But Michigan and Collins need to continue to throw first and just throw a running play in every now and then. They're not getting anything done except through the air.
Toomer with 4 catches for 83 yards. Nothing. Penn State leads. Todd Collins quickly. The ball is caught by Toomer, and he's wrestled down after about a 5-yard pickup. A couple of people on his back, including Marlon Forbes, number 46.
Penn State plays a lot of players. Forbes is a backup corner. Started 8 games last year, but he is the backup at that right corner to Pittman.
Bianca Batuka checks into the backfield for Michigan. Todd Collins now 7 out of 9 for 115 yards. Bianca Batuka on a fake. Ball is thrown down the middle to Mercury Hayes, the junior out of Houston, Texas, and he can't reel it in.
Tried to go again over the middle of the field on a fake play action to square in. Penn State aren't dummies. They know that they're being hurt in the center of the field. That time it was very close. Wasn't much room in there.
Nope. Even though Bianca Batuka carried out the fake very well. Put it on the 37-yard line for a 3rd down and 4. This is a big play for Michigan here in the first half, if they ought to keep the ball. Penn State's in the neutral zone defensively. Bianca Batuka pounds away and is very close to the marker for the first down.
Get a flag, Keith.
On this side, a flag thrown. Penn State's in the neutral zone, so it's going to be offside. So on the 3rd down and 4, you take the penalty, you got your first down. Put the football down at the 32-yard line. John Saunders will have scores and highlights at halftime for you in the Prudential halftime report, as he always does. Puts in the longest day of the land. Put the ball on the 32. Wheatley is the deep man.
They come.
Got him too. Number 43, Phil Yeboah Cody, the senior from Montreal.
Tackled by Yeboah Cody.
Quarterback's got to recognize that they had 8 men up near the line of scrimmage. The play is not good against this. You had single coverage on the outside and an opportunity to check to a big play, because the running play will not work against that many defenders.
Loss is back near the 35. Oh, they will call it at the 34 because that is the next forward hash mark. And make it second down and 12. Wheatley, single back, Collins throwing. Gotta hurry. Sack. Back at the 46-yard line by Willie Smith. And here's John Saunders.
Keith, UTEP against Colorado State. You'll remember the whitewash last year. Opening kick. Sam Rogers bobbles the ball, kicks it around, ends up back in his own end zone where Steve Standifer gets him for the safety. Colorado State leads at 28-3. Meantime, Hawaii facing Utah. It's scoreless. Utah and Colorado State meet next week. Keith.
Things are getting kind of interesting out in Fort Collins.
Colorado State, Sonny Lubick doing a great job. One of the real surprises of this year.
Third down and 22 now for Michigan. That's trapped. Not again.
State just sitting back in deep zones, forcing Collins to throw it short. It's a trap. Fans are booing because it didn't have a chance to pick up a first down or any yardage to get into a field goal range. Now, Wolverines have to kick it away.
Greg Baker, who had a 24-yard punt on his first one today. Mike Archie waits for it at the Penn State end, and Baker gets it out. Low kick. Archie with a fair catch at the Penn State 10-yard line. You've got 1 minute and 33 seconds left to play in the first half. 34 yards on that punt. Pictures from out of the sky coming from the Goodyear Blimp Stars and Stripes out of Pompano Beach, Florida. Nice day. A little windy, but probably very comfortable up there.
Keith, I think what's happening so far is Paterno brought in his team. And you've seen it before. The road team comes in, and they're not nervous. They're together. It's almost like us versus the world. And I think sometimes a home team can be a little bit more distracted, a little bit more nervous because of a lot of different things.
Jonah Carter. Out to the 25-yard line in the first down.
When you're the home team, you've got to get tickets for family, tickets for parents. You got to worry about this and that. When you're on the road, as Paterno and as Penn Staters are, the Nittany Lions, you're together. You're in the hotel together. You ride the bus together. You have meetings. You have better control of your players when you're on the road than you do at home. And that's why we're seeing the teams that go on the road playing so well early in the game.
Collins lets it go big downfield. Bobby Ingram just beyond his reach, incomplete. Defending off the play, Deion Johnson. Oh, they thought perhaps they had lulled Michigan in close, and they let it fly to Ingram, and it was just a tad too long.
Well, the Lions have the whole enchilada. They've got the wide receivers with some speed. They've got the tight end that can block. They've got a back that can go the way, and they've got a quarterback that can get him the ball on a line and can give him the time.
Sounds easy with all of that. Yeah, been looking pretty easy so far, too. 16-0. Penn State leading. Heading for a minute to go in the first half. First half moving quite along at quite a good pace, too. This is Ryan Milne, the big fullback carry. And he'll pick up a yard. And now Michigan's going to spend some time here, stop the clock.
You know, we hear about... No, I'll get back to it in a minute.
59 seconds to go in the first half.
Tuesday, Tim installs central vacuuming.
Give me a week, this whole house will suck.
And blows the house away.
I think I can get the floor fixed before your mom gets home.
Hello, Mom!
Or
maybe not.
Home Improvement, followed by Grace Under Fire, Tuesday, here on ABC.
Sipowicz, a new beginning.
A meal they said would never happen.
Kelly, a cop under siege.
Got me in their crosshairs.
LaKelsey, a day of reckoning.
Will the defendant please rise?
A stunning new episode you won't want to miss. NYPD Blue, Tuesday. Viewer discretion advised.
Point I'd like to make or discuss everybody talks about home field advantage, Keith, and I think there is an advantage to playing at home, but I think there's also a disadvantage, and that's what I was talking about earlier. You got family coming, you got rooms, you got tickets, and all that other stuff. For a big game, teams that have gone on the road, like Penn State, has won 10 games in a row. They're not intimidated by coming into any place. They've never been to Michigan Stadium. They've never been to the big house. But here they come in, they're together, they're experienced, they've got a guy that's been there. The continuity on the coaching staff of Penn State on the road doesn't make any difference to them, so sometimes home field advantage is more important than others.
3rd down and 8. Kerry Collins throws for Bobby Ingram. Depending on the play, is Deion Johnson. The pass is incomplete. And it'll bring up 4th down, and they will kick it. The crowd is the 3rd largest in NCAA history. 106,832. That comment, I was hoping to be part of 107,000. Yeah, would you call a couple of your friends and get them over here? Joe Juravicius is the punter, averaging just under 43 yards per kick. He's a wide receiver by trade, doing the punting. It's kind of a wobbler, and it takes a Michigan bounce. Comes back up field. Amani Toomer had no chance to get to it. Guys marked it in the wrong place.
Where the kicking team touches it initially.
First down for the receiver.
Well, Tom Quinn put it in the right place. It's up on the 44. Southeastern Conference today. The big news, of course, was Auburn beating Florida in Gainesville. Mississippi State got a win over South Carolina.
Well, Vandy beat Georgia.
Vandy beat Georgia. Boy, that's a big win for Vandy.
We got 43 seconds left here, Keith, and 2 timeouts for Michigan. It'd be a big boost for them if they could get at least a field goal going in.
Anything on the scoreboard would help their morale. From the 45-yard line now, 1st down, 43 seconds. Todd Collins lets it fly. Amani Toomer on the run, can't get it. No flag. They got tangled up a bit. Covering on the play was Brian Miller. Miller was running right with Toomer, and Toomer fell down, but no flag.
And State was giving them a chance. They were bringing 6 defenders, man-to-man in the secondary. Collins just overthrew it.
Uncatchable ball was the official signal on the play. If that ball had been off the hands, you conceivably could have had a flag. 2nd down and 10. That won't get you much. Get your wideout killed is what it can do. Seth Smith is just consumed by a bunch of them in white, including Phil Yeboah Cody. Phil was the first one over there and led the defensive charge. Michigan is in the fix right now of getting overwhelmed if they're not careful.
Let's go back and let you be the quarterback. Let's go ahead and run it, and I'll ask you to stop it. Go ahead and run this play. Now watch as the receivers come down. Now stop it right here. Now there's nobody open. Here's a receiver. Here's one. There's one. The open area is all in here in the middle. There's nobody in the middle. That's why the only outlet that he goes to, go ahead and run it, is the man out to the right. There's nobody to dump the ball to. 4 receivers were out. 6 stayed in the block. Now, the time before that, Penn State blitzed, and there weren't anybody in the secondary. That time, Sandusky, the coordinator, changed up a little bit, doing a nice job mixing his defenses.
Jerry's boys are having a good day so far. 20 seconds remaining in the 1st half. Third down and 17. Michigan is going to have are going to get into this ball game. Will have to come out with that opening kickoff of the second half and do something with it.
You got to regroup for sure.
BYU. That game was was out in the mountain. Where's it? South Bend, I guess. BYU coming out of the mountains beats Notre Dame 21-14. Notre Dame pretty well beat up after coming out of Boston College last week. Todd Collins has got daylight in front of him. Gets to about midfield, and you get a late flag on Gelsheiser. And Gelsheiser is incredulous as he looks at the flag.
I don't know if he called a late hit to the head.
Apparently.
Contact on the defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
He's down right now with his knees. Yeah, that's a spear. You got to call that. This is not the National Football League. This is college, and they don't protect the quarterbacks as much, but this is definitely something that should have been called. Gelsheiser was an ex-quarterback, and he is an outstanding linebacker. You know, I was thinking, I saw Ray Nitschke the other day, one of the all-time great linebackers,
yes.
Hall of Famer. He started out as a quarterback and turned into an outstanding linebacker. And Gelsheiser, that's the reason he wears number 16. He was a high school quarterback coming into. But Joe's done that before, taking quarterbacks and turned them into linebackers.
It is first down for Michigan at the Penn State 35. Todd Collins on a roll. Has some time with the roll. As a man, Mercury Hayes out of bounds at the 16-yard line. You got 2 seconds on the scoreboard. And Michigan's going to call timeout.
3 receivers on the left, and he's going to roll out to buy some time. Now, the 2 outside receivers go straight down, and the inside one breaks to the outside. Nice design. You can throw the alley-oop in the end zone if you want, or you can throw it's about a 20-yard square out to pick up your yardage. 2 seconds, and you're in shape for maybe a field goal try.
Well, Hamilton has swung the leg and loosened up. It'd be about a 33-yarder. Where the ball is located at the 16-yard line.
Hey.
Another a name from the past, a great player, always comes by to say hi today, was Ron Kramer, old Packer.
And Pete Elliott.
And Pete Elliott was by today. A lot of people coming. If you're in the neighborhood and this kind of a ball game is available, you go see it.
Pete Elliott is an old Michigan player and going into the National Football Foundation Hall of Fame in December.
Kramer was All-American here, twice, wasn't he?
Yeah.
9 for 9 is Hamilton from this distance between the 30 and the 40. But he missed one early on in the ball game today from 26 yards as it hit the left upright. 33-yard try, trying to get the Wolverines on the scoreboard. It is into the wind. It is good. The half is over. And halftime. It is Penn State 16, Michigan 3, and Michigan will have the opening kickoff to start the second half of play. Now here's John Saunders.
All right, Keith, thanks a lot. And coming up next, it's the Prudential Halftime Report, scores and highlights, including #1 Florida, a loser today. Back in a moment.
College football on.
But they won't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
As we get ready for the second half of play, Penn State leading Michigan by a score of 16-3. Number 3 is leading number 5. And the Michigan Wolverines, Bob Greasy, will get the ball to start the second half of play, and they sorely need to do something with it.
Well, we mentioned at the top that the strength of both teams is their offense. And we also said we didn't think that the defenses were going to be run over. They were going to play a lot better, which they have. Michigan needs to come out and throw the football like they did on the opening drive. They moved the ball right down. They missed the field goal. But they have not run the ball well. Wheatley has run it like 9 times for only 11 yards. They need to open up.
The only touchdown in the ball game was a pass to the tight end. Now, the tight end has been an obvious person in both offenses, and in particular, Kyle Brady. And in the end zone for the sketch, however, it's Keith Olsemer for a 3-yard reception. The fake, the play action was very good, and Olsemer was all alone in the end zone for the touchdown. So that TD, plus the 3 field goals by Brett Conway, and a 33-yarder to close the first half of play by Ramey Hamilton is how we've arrived at a 16-3 score. Have you seen anything that really surprised you?
Well, I think the fact that Michigan can't run and how good the Penn State offense is has surprised me. I mean, they have just gone right through Michigan's defensively. The only thing they haven't done is score touchdowns. They've kicked 3 field goals. I think both defenses are doing what they want, and that is containing these offenses. These offenses are dominant, and Penn State, they haven't stopped them yet.
Now let's spend a moment with Lynn Swan down on the field.
Well, Keith, I talked to everybody on the Michigan side, Lloyd Carr, and I talked to Gary Moeller. They felt the defensive tackle was very bad in the first half, and they want to improve on that. And what Coach Moeller told me was, he said the defense from Penn State is doing some things with the linebackers and their alignment that they hadn't practiced, hadn't seen before. They think they've got it picked up. Now they want to go after them. They're not going to change up anything in the second half, Bob. They're going to stay with the same kind of offense they had in the first half, execute better, do a better job on defense, tackling the Penn State ball carriers when they have the ball. Keith?
Here we go. Michigan getting the opening kickoff to start the second half of play. It is Seth Smith. That's their best starting point as Smith comes rambling out past the 30-yard line.
Here's a look at the first half. Statistically, everything is Penn State, 241 yards to 167. The 1 turnover by Michigan led to a field goal by Penn State. Time of possession, just about even.
The home crowd of 106,832 trying to help them crank up. See no changes of note on either side of the ball. It is Wheatley, the deep man, and Todd Collins gives him the ball. And Tyrone Wheatley is not being given much room to run around as Gelsheiser and company steps in a hurry.
Each team had the ball 5 times in the first half. Michigan fumbled on their second possession and finally got a field goal just before halftime. Collins was 9 of 14 and 127. Biaka Batuka is the only one that got anything on the ground, and Toomer led the receivers with 5 for 89 yards.
It is second down and 9. The ball is on the Michigan 33. Wheatley finds a hole. He's gone. Touchdown.
Lynn Swan alluded to the fact that Moeller said that they were doing something with their linebackers that they hadn't seen before. Well, watch it right here as the ball is going to go over the right side. The linebacker's going to blitz up to the right side. The safety moves over. It's a strong side blitz. Thinking they're going to run strong side, Michigan goes back weak side, and it's big play all the way.
Hamilton for the extra point try. Penalty flag. The kick was good.
Interlocking on the snap, on the kickers. 5-yard penalty.
They'll have to do it again.
They were interlocking their legs. Here's a look at the touchdown play. The linebacker, 43, Yeboah Cody, right there, comes up. Moeller told Swan going in that they were doing something. They adjusted at halftime. They came out and ran it on the second play, and it scored big for them.
Go back up, Michigan, to the 15-yard line for the extra point kick. Gary not happy with the interlocking call.
That is something that nobody does on purpose. Every offensive lineman takes a step down to their inside, and that must have been what he said was interlocking. See him?
Yep. Kick is still good, and we have a ball game in Ann Arbor. Now 16-10.
Canada. It's a land like no other, with a beer like no other. Molson Ice. Ice brewed by North America's oldest brewery to be bolder and bolder. Get smooth as ice. Molson Ice, from the land where ice was born.
I don't need some fancy cologne to tell me I'm a man. I use Skin Bracer. It smells great, but it also cools and tones my skin. Confidence is very sexy, don't you think?
Original and cooling blue.
By Menon.
Todd and Celia Unger aren't overly concerned with how to chart a course for their retirement. That's because they work with a broker from Dean Witter.
We measure success, one investor at a time.
If you could listen to what people really want and design a car around that. If you could give them the comfort they want and the safety features they need, and build it to quality standards you've never met before, you'd have a pretty good car. But if you could do all this starting at $16,000, you'd have a genuine Chevrolet. Introducing the all-new 1995 Chevy Lumina.
Joe Montana and the Chiefs are in the division hunt, but beware of John Elway's mile-high magic. Kansas City meets Denver on ABC's Monday Night Football.
67-yard run by Tyrone Wheatley on 2nd down and 9. It's a 16-10 ball game, and the furnace has been lit at Michigan Stadium. Remy Hamilton kicks it high, long, into the mild breeze. I mean, he hammered that thing. Mike Archie putting it down in the end zone.
Penn State had the ball 5 times. They scored on their first 4 possessions, albeit 3 of them were field goals. Then they punted on the last one. Kerry Collins, 121 yards and a touchdown. Carter, 85 yards on 12 rushes, and the tight end Grady was the leading receiver.
Athletic contests generally are played in surges. Let's see if Penn State now can respond, or if the Michigan defense can step up and contain them. That's Freddie Scott in motion. Ball is given to DeJohnette Carter on a sweep. He took a lick, but he stood up and took it again and picked up 6 yards on the play. Deion Johnson, the cornerback on that side, came up and belted it.
For Michigan, picked up a yard. The defensive leaders, inside linebacker Morrison with 12 tackles. Thompson is a strong safety. He had 6. Dyson and Winters with 5.
2nd down and 3 after Carter picked up 7 on 1st down. The ball rests at the 27-yard line. Kerry Collins looks one way, goes to Scott on the other side, and Freddie has a 1st down at the 39-yard line. And here's Lynn Swan.
Keith, at the end of the first half, Joe Paterno said he wasn't going to change anything for the second half, but he was very disappointed and concerned about the penalties that stopped this Penn State team from scoring. As Bob said, they scored on their first 4 or 5 possessions, but they were field goals, and he's disappointed they didn't get the touchdown. And after Wheatley's gallop for a touchdown, you can understand his concern. Pete?
First down from the 39. Yeah, he looks concerned, all right. Kajana Carter gets tangled up and goes down. Back at the 35, a loss of 4. Ben Zenkowitz was the man in the neighborhood.
Michigan likes to slant their linemen, and this time they were slanting to the inside. Zenkowitz from the right side of your screen. Carter sees him, slips a little bit, and goes down. That's an unusual loss for that young man. He has been on fire. As we mentioned earlier, he's been explosive. Zenkowitz came in with 3 quarterback sacks to lead the Wolverines.
Second down and 14. Penalty flags all over the place.
Dead ball. False start. Offense.
Penn State goes backwards 5 yards to the 30. That is the 6th penalty for them, and a total of 46 yards in penalty calls. So it is second down and 19 from the 30. 16-10 now. Penn State leading by 6. Gary Collins with good protection goes to the tight end Kyle Grady, and Kyle Grady takes a wallop from Dion Johnson. A quarterback playing the boundary side and playing it very well today. 5 tackles now for Johnson. And 5 catches for Kyle Brady.
The difference in the start of the second half from the first half is that this crowd is in the game.
Yep. Kajana Carter, the single back. You got 4 wideouts, and Kerry Collins rolls out to buy some time. Johnson goes after him. He gets the ball away. And it is incomplete, intended for Chris Campbell, the sophomore from Akron, Ohio. And the crowd roars some more. But the crowd here at Michigan Stadium, the noise sort of fades away from the field. It is not as oppressive as it can be in different shaped stadiums. Monty Toomer dropping back now for the punt of Jurevicius. His first and only kick today by Joe was 28 yards. Not very well done. Joe Paterno has not found himself a punter as yet. There's a flag on the far side of the field. The ball traveled only 17 yards. Procedure call against Penn State. I would think Michigan would decline it. A 17-yard punt, you give him a second chance, he might kick it 70.
There shouldn't be any choice here. You just decline it. Unless it happened before the kick.
That's right.
If it was a dead ball foul before the kick.
They decline it.
Yeah. They decline it.
The ball rests at the 48-yard line of Michigan, first down.
Some things in life you have to wait for. A car of your dreams shouldn't be one of them. The Chevy Camaro. 2 airbags, fuel-injected V6, anti-lock brakes. It's $14,750 worth of genuine Chevrolet.
Kellogg's Raisin Bran tastes so good, people forget it's nutritious. Why do you eat it?
Nutrition.
Good.
I'm a health nut.
Wheat Bran, I love
love it.
Wait a minute, is this true? 10% more raisins free?
Wow, more raisins?
We're talking about nutrition.
Free raisins? Ooh la la.
That's not important.
Yes, it is. Now Kellogg's Raisin Bran has 10% more raisins, absolutely free.
Forget what it says behind my hand.
10% more raisins. Free!
You need two hands to count all the special rates and discounts on Allstate car insurance. For more than one car, cars with anti-lock brakes, airbags, good drivers, excellent drivers with Allstate home insurance, and retired drivers over 55. Pick up a phone and call an Allstate agent for details. For lots of ways to save, you're in good hands with Allstate. College football on ABC Sports, brought to you by Chevrolet. The cars and trucks 36 million people depend on every day. Genuine Chevrolet. And the beer that's colder, bolder, yet smooth as ice. Molson Ice from Canada, the land where ice was born. Just short of the 49-yard line. First down for the Wolverines. Wheatley and Shea Foster in the backfield, and that's Wheatley in motion. And Todd Collins passes away to Toomer. First down at the Penn State 21-yard line. Tim Herring and Marlon Forbes took him down.
It's an 8-man front and 3 deep zone. They knew this coming in. Collins takes 5 steps, looks to the right, and throws in the seam. Toomer splits the corner and the free safety. This is something that they knew they could get in if they had a 3 deep zone. See, he goes straight up the field, keeps the corner to the outside. A nice throw.
Toomer 6 catches and 119 yards now. First down on the 21. Shea Foster a big block that time to keep Willie Smith at bay, and Collins passed the other way for Toomer, and it's a little hot and high, and he can't pull it in.
Sandusky, the defensive coordinator, blitzing that time, not giving Todd Collins, a lot of time to throw. 29 years, Jerry Sandusky, 27 years on the staff at Penn State. Continuity in that staff, I'd say.
Second and 10. Wheatley. Touchdown.
Watch the 2 wide receivers for Michigan as they're going to come in here and get a block. As he's going to dip and go around. One of the things that they got hurt with last year at Penn State, the Nittany Lions, was Wheatley running outside. He got outside again and he hurt him.
Hamilton's extra point is good. Wheatley goes 21 yards for his second touchdown here in the third quarter with 10:41 to play. He's carried 12 times, scored 2 touchdowns, has an even 100 yards. Michigan has scored 17 points in the last 4 minutes and 21 seconds.
It's Wine 75, Shea Foster's 33, Reaversma is battling, and then the key block are the 2 outside guys who come in and get a piece of them, and then Wheatley just outruns them and runs over them.
So they are whooping it up in Ann Arbor as their team goes to the lead, and here's John.
I'm surprised I can barely hear you through the noise coming out of Ann Arbor, Keith. What a game. Utah and Hawaii, first and goal, Sylvester Cooperwood, 6-yard touchdown run. Utah leads it, looking to remain unbeaten, 7-0. Washington and the Huskies rolling over Arizona State, 29-0 the score there. Keith.
The other big ball game in the Pac-10 will be played later today in Pullman with Washington State hosting Arizona. Arizona lost last week to Colorado State, but it was not a conference loss. All right, Hamilton ready to kick it off. That's Mike Archie waiting for it, along with Ambrose Fletcher. Freshman running back. Wind has died down, obviously, because he's just kicking that ball way down the field. And Fletcher gets a welcome.
It was late in the first half that the momentum changed. This was a play that Penn State had scored on, but holding by Conlon 53 brought the touchdown back. They kicked a field goal. The other penalty in the first half was a spearing call on Gelsheiser right here on Collins. This continued the Michigan drive and led to a field goal right before the half. And since the second half has started, the momentum is still with Michigan.
Kerry Collins throws to Mike Archie. He's got a little room across the 20 out to about the 22. That's a pickup of about 8 yards on the play. Tyrone Wheatley has suddenly become the story here in quarter number 3.
After having done nothing in the first half, Keith, 11 times he carried the ball, only 3 times did he even gain positive yardage. But we said early that they were explosive. Kajana Carter and also Wheatley. And what a great job Moeller did getting his troops fired up at halftime.
This is Kajana Carter carrying the ball in the left hand because he suffered a dislocated thumb 2 weeks ago on his right hand. Tomorrow night, after Funniest Home Videos and on our own, Dick Clark and Suzanne Summers host an all-new Will You Marry Me? An hour of surprising marriage proposals, including one from Dallas Cowboy Rodney Peete, former USC Trojan quarterback. Then Jenny Garth stars in the world premiere of Without Consent tomorrow on ABC.
The thumb has not slowed Carter down much today.
On first down carry, you get Big John Whitman, a fullback, for a 1-yard pickup to the 30. That's the wrapping on Kajana Carter's thumb. One of the worries that Fran Ganner had, as you told me early before the ball game, was Fran was worried that he might not be able to block as well.
Yeah.
But he seemingly has done all right.
I don't think there's been any problems.
No.
I think only catching, there's Ganner on the left, only catching the ball with your hands is a problem.
Just over the 30, call it 2nd down and 8. Reverse coming with Bobby Ingram. He's the speedster out of South Carolina. And he's all the way to the Michigan 40-yard line. So the youngster from Camden has a big play for the Nittany Lions.
We haven't heard much of the 2 wide receivers for Penn State. They came in each having gained 100 yards apiece the last 2 games. They only had 1 catch apiece in the first half here today. That was 29 yards on the reverse for Ingram.
29 yards. And he takes your breath away once he gets into the open field. Archie is in the backfield. Kerry Collins pumps it, shoots it, incomplete. Trying to force it in between defenders. And perhaps just as well that time, the ball sailed high and away.
Matt Dyson, the defensive end on that side, was jumping up in the air and took the lane away. Dyson seems to be playing pretty well with that broken bone in his foot. Doesn't seem to be limping too much.
Put it on the 40, 2nd and 10. Carter. That's a first down at the Michigan 27. Penn State trying to restore a little order to the state of things here, responding with a score after Michigan has shocked them with 2 touchdowns in the third quarter. And DeJohn Carter now totaling 108 yards on 16 carries.
You get him past the line of scrimmage, and he'll give a defensive coordinator a heart attack.
Mike Archie, the tailback. Fullback carried it in the middle. Whitman. Football, the fullbacks have not been that much of a factor so far today, except as far as their blocking. And on both sides, Shea Foster had a great block a few minutes ago. That's what we have for you next week. There will be other regional coverages. You should check your local listings or consult with your cable operator for the games that might be available on a pay-per-view basis. Second down and 8 now as the ball rests at the 25 for Penn State. The running back Archie coming toward the bottom of the picture. The ball is thrown to the tight end Brady. And Kyle Brady with a clutch catch, his 6th of the day, puts Penn State at the Michigan 11.
There's a look at Brady. The man motioned outside of him, the halfback, number 8, Price, is supposed to be covering him. And the reason he has to cover him is because the defensive back had to go out with the halfback in motion. Nice scheming, nice planning by Penn State. Big target.
Now Carter is back. Carter with the ball to about the 9. Kerry Collins in the ball game, 15 of 22 for 160 yards and a touchdown. So the offense is without question center stage. Right now Michigan leading 17 to 16, and here's the comparison of the Collins boys.
Collins boys carry at Penn State 160 yards and a touchdown, and Todd from Michigan 3 yards shorter.
Lob to the corner, fullback Whitman, touchdown.
From behind the defense, to receive both wide receivers away, the tight end and fullback, he's working with those 2 players. Throws it over Price, number 8. Thompson was covering the tight end Brady, who's been catching all the balls. Here's a look when you're down. What are you down by? You're down by up by 5 points. You're ahead by 5. You go for 2.
They will throw. Brady, he looks for him, can't find him, goes the other way. Freddie Scott, good.
You just saw 2 great throws. The throw for the touchdown was a touch pass. This, he had to use a little steam, and then a little touch to get it over and in. That's impressive.
Oh, boy, he just barely had control of it, but it counts. At 6:27 to go in the third quarter, Penn State back to a 7-point lead.
Jim was the leader of the pack, and they were looking for adventure.
Jim, working in those new bikes, huh? Thought you two could use a cold one.
Thanks.
Ah, ice cold O'Doul's. Non-alcohol and only 70 calories. Perfect for a real road warrior like Jim.
When you want refreshing beer taste in a non-alcohol brew, think O'Doul's. It's what beer drinkers drink when they're not drinking beer.
PageNet, America's #1 wireless messaging company, is proud to sponsor the 125th anniversary of college football. Since the days of leather caps and broken teeth, the game has come a long way. but it's still a game of contact. And who knows more about contact than PageNet, the company that keeps more people in close contact nationwide.
Instead of making a car for the 5% of the public who can afford a $35,000 luxury sedan, we created the all-new Chevrolet Lumina for everybody. We asked thousands of people what they were looking for in a new mid-size sedan. Turns out what they wanted were the comfort and features you usually find in more expensive sedans. So we built them into the new Lumina. We just didn't charge extra for them. That's what makes the new Lumina a genuine Chevrolet.
Well, if they get much closer, they'll make them buy a ticket. Hot air balloon drifting over Michigan Stadium in a crowd of 106,832. That's quite a sight. And quite a ball game as Penn State has gone back to a 24-17 lead. Top-ranked Florida losing today to Auburn. Penn State not concerned with that at the moment. Probably don't even know it. Here's the kickoff going to the goal line, a yard deep. It's Seth Smith coming out with it. And he gets to the 19. Freshman from Carbondale, Illinois. And here's another look at the Lions touchdown.
Keith, these two receivers over here came in with 45 receptions and 9 touchdowns. Here's Brady. He's been catching all the passes. But watch, as the fullback is going to slide out from the backfield, he only has 2 receptions all year and none for touchdowns. And the throw had to be over the defensive end Price. That's just moving the ball around and good play call.
Kerry Collins has completed passes to 7 different receivers. So here's Michigan. Put it on the 18 now, and Tyrone Wheatley is the deep back behind Todd Collins. Mercury Hayes has been pretty quiet today. Todd Collins play action gives it to Reimers for the tight end, and he has his legs taken away by number 34, Brian Miller. Gain on the play will be a couple of yards. Bit of a surprise right there in the SEC. George Welch's Cavaliers having another rather good season. Penn undefeated in the Ivy. 2nd down and 8. Wheatley has it. Penalty flag thrown by the referee. That's a 1st down, but let's see what Tom Quinn has to say about things. Holding. Lynn Swan.
Keith, when Tyrone Wheatley hurt his shoulder in the preseason, he was about 226 pounds. He dropped 11 pounds in his rehab, getting ready to come back to the season, so he's about 215. After watching him play today, you obviously see he feels a lot faster. But one thing we haven't seen, I saw earlier in this ball game, they've been sending Wheatley down the sidelines after the play fake, going for the deep pass pattern. Once he was wide open, they didn't get the ball to him. I think it's a play they're going to have to look for at some point in this ball game to capitalize on. Keith?
Ready? Iakabatuka checks in now after the penalty is marked off back to the 11-yard line.
Talked about the penalties that hurt Penn State at the end of the 1st half. This penalty right here hurts Michigan, a 1st down. Now it goes back to 2nd and 16.
Has pretty good protection. Gets it off down the middle. Nice catch by Mercury Hayes for a 1st down. That'll be up right at the 30-yard line. Todd Collins was sitting on the seat of his britches and didn't see the pass caught. The ball was high, but Mercury Hayes went up and got it.
3 deep zone. Running the square in, which is good against a lot of coverages, but it takes a little longer. And that's Claire, number 89, the nose guard, who finally gets there and puts him down.
1st down at the 30 for the Wolverines. 24-17, Penn State leads it. Todd Collins pumps it up and lets it fly. Amani Toomer on the run, can't get to it. defending, and the ball was just too far. Captain Daniels and the crew of the Goodyear Blimp Stars and Stripes with us for today's overhead pictures in Ann Arbor. The day started out so bright and shiny and sunny with all the colors glistening from the landscape. We have clouds now beginning to scud across the sky, and the day grows a little gray, but still very pleasant. 2nd and 10. 4:45 to play third quarter. Yakubatuka stays in the backfield. Reverse. On a runner reverse with Mercury Hayes. He got a block on the corner. He's got a first down, and he's out of bounds at the 46-yard line of Michigan. Remersma, the quarterback, turned tight end, got the block that made the play.
Well, Gary Moeller says you run a reverse. We've got one of those too. You know, and sometimes, and I'm not saying this is the case, sometimes the play caller is reminded of some of the plays that he has by watching the other team. Take a look at Remersma, acting like it's going away. Now it's coming back, and here he gets his block on Killens, 92. Remember
Just
when I was
enough.
calling plays, Keith, I'd stand and watch, and somebody else, the other team would run a play. I said, yeah, that's a good play. We got that. Let me run that play.
Well, there really is nothing new, is there? It's just a matter of
The
when
clock
you...
was started in error. Put 4:35 on the clock. 4:35. 4:35.
It's just a matter of when you apply whatever it is that you happen to recall or what you plan at the time.
A lot of people may think that you just call a play anytime you want, but really, that used to be the way it was done 30, 40 years ago. Now, you want to know what defense you're going to be in. You tell me what defense you're in, and I'll call a play that's going to beat it. So you want to make it a guessing game.
Yakubatuka stacked up after about a yard. Quickly we go to New York. John Saunders with another highlight.
Keith, you wonder who's the front runner for the Heisman Trophy. How about this guy, Napoleon Kaufman, 7 yards on this touchdown run here. With Dean and Zaire losing today, could it be a year for the running back? First time since Barry Sanders in '88. Kaufman approaching 1,000. Phillips over 1,000. Salam plays tonight on ESPN. He's approaching 1,000 as well. Of course, you have Carter and Wheatley in your game, Keith.
There's some very, very good running backs about the land. I've known Napoleon Kaufman since he was playing at Lompoc High School out in California. He's a good one. This is Yakubatuka. They knock him out of bounds at about the 40-yard line, and there's a penalty flag laying on the ground up at the 47-yard line. So let's see about that. Yep, illegal push in the back by Michigan.
Gary wants to know who's it on.
He wants to know who called it.
Yeah, that's true too. First he wants to know who's it on. Then he said who called it.
3:51 showing on the third quarter clock, and Penn State out on top 24-17.
That whole process, Keith, as you know, is the film. The coaches will go back and study the tapes, and they will look at each penalty to see if it in fact did happen. If it did happen, they'll get on their own troops who did it. If it didn't happen, they don't feel, they can send a report into the Big Ten office complaining about the call, and then supposedly those officials will be notified. But I'm not saying it was a right or wrong call. That's just the process.
It is second down and 14 now as the ball comes back to the 43. And pitch it to Yakubatuka. Here they come with a reverse. They fake the double reverse. Seth Smith keeping the ball and getting to the 45. So he picks up 2 yards.
It's an awful lot of action behind the line of scrimmage.
They'd have been better off if they'd gone ahead with the double.
Notice, though, they ran the double reverse a couple of weeks ago against Colorado. And, of course, Penn State, the opposition, always scouts what you do. Grant Ganner's got reverses on his offense also.
3rd and 12. Batuka is close enough. I mean, just one more step, and he would have had his first down. He almost popped out of there. But he is going to be about 2.5 yards short.
Jenkins, number 77. Looked like they wanted to get outside by telling that block. It's a 3-man line, 8 dropping. Michigan thought they could pick up the needed yardage with the run. We're going to kick it away.
On 4th and 2, Mike Archie going deep for Craig Baker.
Penn State had to call timeout. They needed to get their men off the field.
So the Lions spend a timeout. They did not have the receiving team on the field. 2:26 to go, third quarter.
What is thy bidding, my master?
There is a great disturbance in the force. It is battered.
If you only knew the power of the dark side.
Still going. Nothing outlasts the Energizer battery. It keeps going and going.
You've got customers who demand, information to command, and competition to withstand. So how's your business to expand?
Here's how. Sprint Business introduces Real Solutions, a top-to-bottom action plan that shows where your business stands versus the competition and offers communication solutions to help your business grow. And it's all free. Call now for Real Solutions. 1-800-816-REAL. Only from Sprint Business.
Control is everything. Once you got it, everything else just falls in place. That's why I use this stuff, Perk Plus.
One smart shampoo, control-enhancing conditioners for hair that's easy to handle.
It just works. My hair does what I want. That's enough for me.
Perk Plus.
Great hair, no fuss.
So now Michigan will punt, and Penn State has the proper number and the proper people on the field. 24-17. Nittany Lions about to get the ball back. They lead by 7. There were 835 media passes issued for this ball game. Baker gets a nice high hanging punt. Archie runs away from it. Oh, and it's out of bounds inside the 1. The penultimate coffin corner job. He carved that thing out about a foot from the goal line.
Same kid that shanked the ball earlier in the game.
Yeah.
So kicks a perfect one.
So Penn State will go to work now with virtually everybody, including the offensive linemen, with their feet in the end zone.
Yep. Be careful here, though. Sometimes when you have big play wide receivers, you just take a shot one-on-one.
Kajana Carter. That's almost the first down.
He is tough. He doesn't go down unless you knock him down. Later on today, idle, excuse me. Next week later. Miami's at West Virginia. Florida State is off. Syracuse. Here they are later on today. That should be a good one. Oklahoma, Colorado, and Texas Rice play tomorrow.
2nd and 1. Doesn't get it. Carter trying to cut back on the same kind of action that he had before, and I don't know where they're going to mark him. Looks like now they have advanced him well across the 10, so he is very close to it. Well, Purdue gets a tie against Wisconsin. Bob Greasy will be a pleasant dinner companion tonight.
Jim Coletto's done an outstanding job, I tell you. Illinois didn't get the shutout, did they?
Nope. Michigan State. There's a lot of rumbling going on up there in East Lansing now. It is a first down as they bring the chains in.
Penn State has had the ball 7 possessions in this game, and they've scored on 5 of those 7.
See the color of Mike McCreary's hair? Vivid orange. That's a real redhead.
The quarterback.
Yep. Yep. All right, on first down, Kerry Collins gives to Kajana Carter again, and he will pick up about 3 yards before they finally wrestle him down. Clock showing now coming up on 1 minute. The Oklahoma-Colorado ball game is a big one in the Big 8. Nebraska were running out of quarterbacks with Tommy Frazier gone for the season and career. Obviously, with the running game going for them, they just beat on Kansas State.
Not his career, just out this year. Got another year left.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, you don't know.
Hopefully, yeah, he can come back and play.
To get the blood clot problem solved.
Yeah.
Second down and 6. Yeah, they stacked up that blocking pretty well. And the guy, as much as anybody who did it, was big old Trent Zinkowitz. I mean, he just would not let those blockers get themselves in position to turn him. And Steve Morrison now has 15 tackles in the ball game.
Washington State.
That's the big game out there in the Pac-10 this weekend. But I say to you, Southern California is still one of the hunters in the chase to the Rose Bowl. And time ticks away. The third quarter is done. We'll be back with the final period after this message and a word from our ABC station.
Tomorrow, Doug and Ann Porter will watch their only daughter walk down the aisle. The McDades will embark on a retirement journey to Scotland. And the Sweeneys will pack the last in a series off to college. Tomorrow, the dreams of many will be realized, thanks to a simple broker philosophy.
We must never rest in our commitment to the individual.
For those of us at Dean Witter, like Dave Rieger.
Dave, are you still working?
We measure success one investor at a time.
Don't miss Goodyear's big tire sale and 25% savings on 4 of our most popular radials for passenger cars and light trucks. But you gotta hurry. The big tire sale ends November 5th at participating Goodyear retailers.
What do these women think about the new Sicilian-style pizza from Pizza Hut? Wow, they love it! New Sicilian-style pizza from Pizza Hut. Basil, oregano, garlic baked right in for a pizza crust like never before for only $8.99.
Sunday, Dallas Cowboy Rodney Peete will ask Holly Robinson to marry him.
I love you with all my heart.
All new surprise proposals. Will You Marry Me? Sunday here on ABC.
Huddle up with the Duke Football Brain Trust. Watch the Fred Goldsmith Show and get a taste of battle in the ACC. Sundays at 9:30 on your Gridiron Foot Station, WTVT.
It's the new Little Caesars Pleasers menu with more cheese and more toppings. Any two.
We go to the final 15 minutes of this football game between Penn State and Michigan, with Penn State leading 24-17. They're looking at 3rd and 6 on their own 15-yard line. Kerry Collins' pass is incomplete, intended for Bobby Ingram, defended by Deion Johnson.
Here's a look at the numbers after 3 quarters. Total yardage is just about the same, but the number that came up for Michigan rushing yardage, they only had 40 in the first half. They gained 124 in the 3rd quarter alone.
Darrell Kania is in to do the punting for Penn State. His first try today in this role. Snap is good. Kick is out. Michigan's got good field position coming here, as Amani Toomer could not get to the ball and effectively return it. So he watches it roll dead at the Michigan 41-yard line, a 44-yard punt. Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos will have at it Monday night on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time. Two teams that have got to get their act together, otherwise the San Diego Chargers are going to be long gone in the West.
You know, I love watching a game at Mile High Stadium.
Yeah.
It just, you know, it's grass. You never know this time of year you could get snow. You never know what the weather's going to be. And two of the best quarterbacks around.
They've had some bad weather. I think they had a big storm out there in the Rockies this weekend. All right, it's a chance for Michigan now. They're down by 7. They've got good starting point for this possession. Todd Collins rolls out, lets it go big for Toomer. He caught it. Amani Toomer out jumps Jason Collins and makes the catch at the Penn State 21.
First down passing. Take a look from behind the quarterback. Good run fake to Wheatley. He's got two choices short. You see them both, but he goes long. He almost laid this ball up too high. 38 yards. Toomer comes down with it. Could have thrown that ball out in front of him a little bit more. He could have run to it.
Might have scored, too.
Yeah.
7 catches and 157 yards for Toomer. That's a lot. Oh, my goodness. Well, he disappeared for a second, and then all of a sudden he popped out and picked up a yard or so. Tyrone Wheatley.
That long throw, Keith. Earlier in the game, the wind was blowing pretty good. I'd like to ask Lenny Swan, which way is the wind, or is it laid down any?
Well, it's kind of changing its mind from time to time, Bob. Right now, it feels like it's laid down. It starts to pick up, and at one moment, it's going from left to right. The next moment, it's moving from right to left. So it's very inconsistent. It's not predictable, but it's not very strong. I'll give you that.
All right.
2nd and 9. Pitch it to Wheatley. Trying to get outside. And it is Gelsheiser who eventually takes him out of bounds, keeping him from reaching the first down marker.
Wheatley loves to get outside around in. Gelsheiser, who doesn't have the greatest of speed, is the guy that finally met him over there.
Shea Foster is the Wolverine who's shaken up, the fullback. And he had a considerable collision in affecting his block on one of the Penn State pursuers. He's got to come out now. That'll get John Ritchie into the lineup.
Both teams love to run the football. I don't care how much throwing there is, but they love to run it. And look at Michigan in the 3rd quarter. That's when Wheatley broke those 2 big plays to get Michigan even at that time.
It gets 2 tight ends into the lineup as they change the alignment, leaving only Wheatley as a single back. Penn State may have been in the neutral zone. Penalty flags are down. They run for the first down on 3rd down and 3. And I don't think he made it, but if Penn State got caught in a neutral zone, it'll be a 5-yard offsides penalty. First down, Michigan.
You know, it's only a 5-yard penalty, but sometimes they are critical penalties when they involve possession or change of possession, or in this case, a first down that keeps the drive going.
Well, that is the 4th Michigan first down as a result of a penalty against Penn State. Ball is at the 9-yard line now, where it is 1st and goal with Shea Foster back in the backfield. Wheatley just about the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and goal. They go 52. Willie Smith, senior, Fort Pierce, Florida. Taking up a lot of space in that linebacking position. Biaka Matuka checks in. Wheatley comes out.
Smith is the 2nd leading tackler to Gelsheiser on that Penn State defense. Ball
still at the 9. Biakabatuka taken down. First man to hit him is number 13, Clint Coles, who is back in there at a strong safety position, sore shoulder and all, and then he got some help from the other linebacker.
Holes made a nice play because there was a gaping hole that Biakabatuka was going through, and Holes just came up and stopped him.
The ball is at the 6. It is 3rd and goal.
Single coverage out here to the right.
Pressure coming, dump it off, caught by Foster, the fullback. He did not get in. He did not get in. They took him out at about the 2.
If Collins could have thrown this ball more on the line, and watch him, he's going to have to throw it up and over. He throws it higher. If he could have caught it quicker, then he could have run it in because the linebacker was coming from the across. Gelsheiser was lined up opposite way across the formation. But he had to throw it over the defense.
And Michigan is going to take time out and talk about it, whether or not to go for it or whether to take the 3, because you've got 11:41 to play.
I was shocked to learn that most ordinary credit cards charge interest from the moment you buy something, if you carry a balance as little as $1. Thankfully, American Express has introduced a new credit card called the Optima True Grace Card. You get an interest-free grace period on each new purchase, even when you carry a balance. It's a good thing. But don't just throw away your old credit cards. Recycle them. I'm retiling my pool. Apply today and cut your interest charges.
My dandruff and itch are awful. I'll try anything. Denorex tingles. Head and Shoulders doesn't.
Both have effective dandruff medicine, but Denorex has something extra that tingles, feels fresh.
That's why I started using Denorex. No flakes, no itch.
Denorex, the serious dandruff shampoo.
Imagine a rent-a-car company that will pick you up right at your door. That's enterprise. Call us. We'll arrange to come to you. Take you back to our office, and you're on.
It's 4th and 1 for Michigan on the 1-yard line. They trail by 7 points against Penn State, and they're going to go for it on 4th and 1. If they don't get in, they leave Penn State back up on the goal line. That has to be the philosophy here. Penalty flags all over the place as Biakabatuka gets into the end zone. But let's see about the flag. Thinks it's a touchdown. Offside, touchdown.
Well, you got 2 things going. First, you go on a long snap count to try and pull the defense off. Then you toss the ball to give it to your speedy receiver. Then you say run it around the end or take it up inside, whichever opens up.
They're going to kick it for 1 point. Hamilton out of Remus must hold. It's good. And so the score is tied with 11 minutes and 37 seconds to play in the game. We're all even at 24.
I'm going camp.
Now we'll kick off as the home folks have taken heart again. Their team comes back to tie at 24. Penn State waiting to receive it with Mike Archie and Ambrose Fletcher. Hamilton will kick it. A good kick. Down to the 4-yard line for Fletcher. Oh, that's a lick. That's not just a hit. That's a lick. Now, let me put this in your mind right now, that Penn State, if these two teams would eventually come down to the end of the conference season tied, if Penn State should lose, then Penn State would have the Rose Bowl tiebreaker. We know that. So consequently, a tie would be like a loss for Michigan. But if these two teams wind up tied today, the advantage would go to Penn State because they own the tiebreaker. First down at the 20 for the Nittany Lions with a lot of time and a lot of football to be played yet with 11.5 minutes. Kerry Collins on a roll. Zinkowitz is after him. Big tackle. Forces the throw. The pass is incomplete. Zinkowitz chased him all over the field, and he finally got his hands on him and slammed him down, and here's Lynn Swann.
Keith, I just want to remind everyone of what Joe Paterno said at the end of the first half, being concerned about the penalties on this Penn State football team. Once again, though, in the second half, his team has not avoided the untimely penalties. As a matter of fact, that last touchdown may have been the result of the defense jumping off sides, allowing the offense to get a surge, having the extra push so Bianca Patuka could get the ball into the end zone. If they're going to come back in this tie ball game and win it, they've got to have an error-free fourth quarter.
Well, Michigan's had 4 first downs as a result of penalties. There's a pass drilled to the sidelines to Freddie Scott. And Scott's up to the 45-yard line for a first down. So there's no question but what there's good reason for Joe's concern with what he's been seeing.
He's not concerned about his offense, so this offense is just dynamic. They can throw the deep stuff. They can run inside power. They can give it to Carter, who's explosive. There's a man pulling the trigger, Brannigan. He's only been there 24 years. He's a newcomer.
Played for Joe. Was a running back. This is Kajana Carter. Boy, when he sees a crack, he really gets through it, doesn't he? Whew, he's quick.
Well, he's quick, and he's also patient, Keith. Sometimes he doesn't rush it. He allows the blocking to develop in front of him, and then if there's something there, he can get through it. He is a 4.4 speed and weighs 220 pounds, 5'10". 22.
Coming in next down on the West Coast, you've got another football game for the Western audience, Southern California and Stanford. It's West Coast only.
So say he had 22 carries for 130 yards, does Carter.
John Whitman was back in at fullback. Go back to Carter now. And he just keeps on high-stepping through the crowd. Lost the football. Michigan may have it. They do, I'm pretty sure. The ball fell out.
They took it away from him.
And Penn State keeps it. They call him down. Woo-wee. Gary Moeller is beside himself. Joe Paterno has taken a deep breath. Here's the wrestling for the ball. Chuck Winters.
That's sorry, he got the ball.
He got the ball, didn't he? Oh, no, that ball's loose.
The officials aren't going to get them all right. And the thing about it is, there's 10 minutes to play in this game.
It becomes a first down at the 38-yard line, and Kerry Collins is sacked. Jason Horn fought through the traffic and got him.
Let's go back and take a look at that previous play, see whether the ball was out.
Chuck Winters is wrestling, and Winters has the ball there, doesn't he?
Yeah, Winters has the ball. That's a close call. The man that made the call was from behind Carter, and he didn't see it.
So the sack puts the ball back at the 40, near the 44, and it is second down and 16 now for the Nittany Lions. in a 24-24 ball game. Little pitch out to Mike Archie. Got a block. Gets inside the 40 to about the 38, the original line of scrimmage. And Zinkowitz playing all over the field from his tackle position now.
You're right. Zinkowitz is all over the field. He was just out chasing the quarterback down earlier. He's 270 pounds. 6'6". He's going to be tired.
He gets a little relief right here.
Yeah.
Gary Collins has gone over 200 yards now. 18 out of 27 for 201 and 2 TDs. 3rd and 10 for the Lions. Got it. Throws the ball into the ground. It's an incomplete forward pass, but Gary Collins showed you one of the great values of being 6'5", 235 pounds. He shook off Deion Johnson, but the Wolverines have held.
Johnson came around the outside and thought he shook the ball loose.
Darrell Kania is in to punt. Toomer waits for it. High kick. High bounce. And down at the 13-14-yard line. A 24-24 tie. 8:16 to play. And Michigan has the ball.
You never know how outside forces can affect your long-distance calling. But you don't have to worry. You've got AT&T, the most reliable long-distance network. No other long-distance company guarantees your service will be back in minutes, not hours. Only AT&T guarantees it. After all, it's your business that's on the line.
Ah, that went well.
AT&T, for the life of your business.
This is one long game.
They even ran out of food.
The fans must be hungry.
Call for a large 2-topping, crunchy, thin-crust pizza and get a medium 1-topping pizza free.
Don't miss Goodyear's big tire sale and 25% savings on 4 of our most popular radials for passenger cars and light trucks. But you gotta hurry. The big tire sale ends November 5th at participating Goodyear retailers.
Kellogg's Raisin Bran tastes so good, people forget it's nutritious. Why do you eat it?
Nutrition.
Good.
I'm a health nut.
Wheat Bran, I love it.
Wait a minute, is this true? 10% more raisins free?
Wow, more raisins?
We're talking about nutrition.
Free raisins? Ooh la la.
That's not important.
Yes, it is. Now Kellogg's Raisin Bran has 10% more raisins, absolutely free.
Forget what it says behind my hand.
10% more raisins. Free!
College football on ABC Sports, brought to you by the 25th anniversary diamond necklace for a brilliant celebration of your loving marriage. I am still light. Who says nothing's perfect? AT&T, we help put your world within reach. And Fram oil filters. Fram, you can pay a little now or a lot later. 24-24 tie with 16-3 Penn State having dominated the first half. 16-3 at halftime. 2 quick touchdowns at the third quarter, and we've had ourselves a whale of a second half. The pitch to Tyrone Wheatley. Line of scrimmage, not quite. Lost a yard. Ryan Gelsheiser met him right on the numbers. So lose about a yard, make it 2nd down and 11.
Inside linebacker Gelsheiser has led this team in tackles the last 2 years. The way he just sheds the block of Shea Foster. And Foster is a good blocker, but he's got good feet, does Gelsheiser, and he just kind of juked. The blocker went around him and made the play.
Todd Collins under pressure. Whoa, he took a pretty good lick. Willie Smith came over and got a piece of him. And let's join John Saunders for a moment.
Keith, we showed you the running backs in the race for the Heisman Trophy. Steve McNair still very much into it. Here hooking up with his brother, Tim McNair, who had 6 receptions for 3 touchdowns. Steve McNair just 18 of 45, but no interception, 494 total yards, 5 touchdown passes, and 3 on the ground. Keith.
Now, different game. 24-24, 7:26 to go in the ball game. Wheatley comes out. Shea Foster, single back, 3rd down and 8. Todd Collins rolls to buy time, throws underneath the coverage, throws it in the ground, throws a bad pass.
Well, there's nobody open.
There was nobody open, so maybe it wasn't a bad pass at all.
Not a very productive series
Very poor.
for Michigan.
Very
and
poor.
Good coverage by Penn State. Just give credit where it's due. They were there. Stopped the run on 1st down. Stopped the passes on 2nd and 3rd.
Now, Penn State's going to get good field position out of this. Craig Baker is in to punt, and it's Mike Archie waiting back at his 40. That ball could well wind up on the Michigan side of the field. Archie comes up and signals fair catch at the 48. Rather than risk it and try to go into trouble and perhaps lose control of it, Archie made probably the smart call with a fair catch. Those are games that we will have for you next week on ABC's College Football. There will be other games added when the 6-day picks are made, so you would want to check your local listings and or your cable operator for the pay-per-view next Saturday at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 out on the western side of the country. 106,832 came today.
Get the #1 passer in the country with the #1 offense in scoring and total yards, and they're starting from almost the 50-yard line.
Their own 48 in a 24-24 tie to Jonathan Carter behind the line of scrimmage, stops and loses a yard. Trent Zinkowicz, who is playing like a possessed man right now, made the play. Look at those eyes. Woo. Stay out of my neighborhood. Big Trent is a junior from Cleveland, Ohio. Second down, 11. Kerry Collins for Ingram, just a bit too high. Got his fingers on it, couldn't reel it in. Here's 20.
Keith, with 6:31 to go in the 4th quarter, it's an interesting note. I've talked to people behind the bench at Penn State. The starting offensive and defensive unit for Penn State has not played an entire 4th quarter this season, averaging over just over 51 points a game. You can understand that they've been pulled out. Hopefully, for Joe Paterno's team, they've got enough to make a comeback and break this tie in the ballgame. Keith?
They're looking at 3rd down and 11 right now with Mike Archie in the backfield, replacing Carter. Collins looking for Brady. Goes instead for Ingram, and it is incomplete. The ball was not catchable. There were 3 Wolverines back there. He had Brady in the middle, possibly for a 1st down, but chose the long man. And Kenya checks on as the punter. Amani Toomer now could come out of here with a better field position for Michigan if he can get his hands on the ball.
It's a game of field position now and mistakes. A mistake now would be deadly either way.
Nice high kick. Toomer comes up for the 20 and makes the fair catch. 33-yard punt with no return. Time now getting kind of precious. 6:20 to play.
If you don't replace your air and oil filters regularly, you might as well drive your car off a cliff, because dirt can really mess up an engine. Fram Extra Life air filters and Fram Extra Guard oil filters keep out dirt best to protect your engine. Fram, America's #1 premium brand. Pay a little now. or a lot later. Get a $2 rebate on Fram air filters at participating retailers.
It was the best first date I ever had. I mean, she's crazy about me.
I couldn't stand him. All he talked about was himself.
I can be a good listener.
He never shut up.
It's funny how two people can look at the same thing differently.
And I just hope she didn't think it was too, serious.
Well, he did have a good sense of humor.
To some, this is a great tasting imported beer. And to others, it's a great tasting light beer.
Let's catch you up to date. Penn State out to a 3-0 lead on the first possession on Conway's field goal. 10-0. Olson's 3-yard pass reception from tight end. Then it was... it went up to 13-0, and then at halftime it was 16-3. Then Wheatley's 2 touchdowns. Very quickly it was 17-16 Michigan, then 24-17 Penn State, and then a 24-24 tie, and that's where we are right now. This is Wheatley with the ball, finding his way to about the 28-yard line. Just short of the 28. It'll be second down, a long 2.
The thinking here now is for Michigan, I've got the ball. The clock, it says 6 minutes, a little under 6 minutes. Just eat up the time and take it down and maybe get 3. Penn State defensively says, we got to get the ball. No big plays, but we got to stop them and force them to kick.
Penn State came in ranked number 3 in the nation. Michigan number 5. Tyrone Wheatley knocked out of bounds at about the line of scrimmage by Kim Herring, playing at free safety.
It's a nice play by Herring to knock him out of bounds. Herring is the backup safety playing for Cliff Dingle, who's banged up. One thing that these defensive backs for Penn State can do, and that is tackle. It's a game of blocking and tackling, and that's the fundamentals. And there's a look at Dingle.
Michigan is without a third down conversion all day. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining.
25-second operator. Check your clock. Try the clock.
They're asking the operator to check the 25.
We're going to shut down the clock.
Play clock.
We'll shut down the clock.
Well, that puts another little element of risk into things, doesn't it?
That makes it tougher on the offenses and the quarterback, because one of the things he does when he comes to the line of scrimmage, when he gets under center, he always looks up to see, how am I doing? How much time do I have? And usually you have anywhere from 12, 11, or 10 seconds, but now you won't know.
Are in the Michigan backfield. Tom Quinn, the referee, sorts things out here. Time permitting, of course, you'll have the Thrifty Car Rental post-game report. Quick summary of all the scores. About the biggest news of the day so far was the loss of number 1 Florida to Auburn at Florida. Here come. Blitz. Ball loose. Michigan covers it. Willie Smith, number 52, came like a falling tree. And even though Todd Collins had the arm whip, the ball was loose.
Top right of your screen, number 52. He is unblocked. He is an outside linebacker. Wheatley went in motion. The ball almost slips out of his hand before he's hit.
And now Craig Baker is standing back near his 6-yard line for the punt. And Penn State will get the field position on this exchange of kicks. That's a pretty good punt, however, by Baker. All the way back to the 38-yard line, Mike Archie. And stopped at the 44. There, the Nittany Lions will go to work. It was a 42-yard punt and a 7-yard return, and you've got 4:46 to play in a 24-24 tie.
Now the shoe's on the other foot. It's the Penn State offense on the field. We got 4 minutes and 46 seconds to go. There is no rush. Run our best plays. Eat up the clock as long as we're moving the ball down the field. Run out the clock. Kick a field goal if we need it, or score a touchdown. But we're in no hurry.
They're still fiddling around with the 25-second clock, trying to see if it'll work for them, and it does. Now it's working. So that'll help. Conway is the place kicker. Brett Conway, the place kicker for Penn State, has kicked 3 field goals in the game of 24, 28, and 29. His long of the year is 39. Mike Archie and John Whitman in the backfield for the Lions, and Kerry Collins fires to the sidelines, and that's out of bounds. Oh, they gave him the catch. He got his foot down, apparently inside. Bobby Ingram with a great play. 2 guys, 2 men in the striped shirts are right there looking at it.
I don't know. It looks like it might be in.
It doesn't matter. They called him in.
Yeah, that he could reach that far out, but he made himself tall, as they say.
41-yard line, first down. Kajana Carter steps back in. And he has the ball, and he's on the move. Down to the 15-yard line. Chuck Winters finally brought him down.
Some great blocking up front for Carter. That offensive line has been doing it all day. Rivera is number 54. Greeley, the center, is 60. 68 there is Johnson. There is a huge hole.
25 carries, 165 yards for Carter. Mike Archie is in the backfield. Fullback, nothing to it. John Whitman, the slam at the line of scrimmage. To consider the tie, if they wind up tied, the edge would go to Penn State because they own the tiebreaker. So the tie would be like a loss for Michigan.
Turner's got to be saying, don't fumble the ball. Moeller's got to be saying, what are we going to run when we get the ball back? Penn State would love a touchdown. They'll settle for a field goal, but they'd like to run some time off the clock.
Second down, 11 from the 16 with Carter back. And he's got it. And he's tripped up at the line of scrimmage. And it's Zinkowitz. Got a piece of him as he went by. 79 make that. 79, Tony Henderson.
So if they don't move the ball at all from here, what is it, about a 33-yard field goal?
A little more now.
On the 16-yard line, 33.
33. Third down. Long 11, more like 12. Here's Kerry Collins throwing. Ingram, touchdown. Penn State. Bobby Ingram broke completely free. Kick is good.
Here's Ingram here. He's just going to run a post pattern. Now watch as the safety is going to come out of there. When the man goes in motion, the safety comes out, creates a cavity inside. Touchdown, Penn State.
When young policyholders come to me, I look at them and think, boy, that was me 15 years ago. I remember very well how quickly things changed for Debbie and me. Marriage, children, our first house. It's exactly why State Farm's family insurance checkups are such a good idea. Your agent helps you put it all in perspective so you can make the right decisions. The way you were 5 years ago is not the way you are today. It's comforting to me when I can say to my policyholders, hey, I've been there.
State Farm is there.
My mission was to clean the garage. I had to go in quietly, not because of the enemy, but because my family just couldn't stand the noise. So I armed myself with the new quiet superpower from ShopVac. It's the quietest ShopVac yet. Nails, wood chips, glass, water. ShopVac's power wiped them out. Mission complete. I prepared for my next assignment. Diaper change.
Be as quiet as you can be with ShopVac's QSP.
Penn State to the lead, 31-24 to kick off now. 2 minutes and 53 seconds to play in the football game. Amani Toomer, Tyrone Wheatley now has come into a return position for Michigan. So let's see what kind of a kick Mr. Conway delivers here. Does he skid it along the ground? Does he try to hit a knuckleball, or does he just wheel away and knock it as far as he can? Knuckleball. Into the end zone.
Go back and take one more look. The top right of your screen, Winters 35 is going to go out with a man in motion. There's a big, huge hole inside. Johnson, the corner, was expecting some help. The ball was thrown a little bit behind Ingram, but that was no problem. Ingram, the last 2 games, has caught 12 passes for 336 yards. He's been hot.
Now it's up to the Michigan offense and or the Penn State defense. Wheatley shrugs off one tackler. Another one. What a great run. To midfield, Tyrone Wheatley, an incredible effort.
From behind the defense, breaks one tackle there. Another one there, keeps his balance. Going to get past a couple more, and if Smith had not been hustling all the way over, he would have broken that all the way.
Ball is exactly at midfield. 30 yards he picked up on the carry. Stays in the backfield. 2:26 to play in the ball game. Todd Collins looking to throw it. Goes deep with it. Toomer's out there. No! It through his hands. Oh, my goodness, that was close.
He looked like he was staggering.
Yeah.
Here it comes at us. It looked like it was going to be no problem. It looked like it drifted away from him a little bit.
Maybe that's a little swirling breeze.
Looked like the ball drifted to the left or away from him.
As it started to fall.
Yeah. Or else he could have run to it if he knew it was going to be on that line.
Biaka Batuka is the single back now for Michigan. 2:16 to play, second down and 10 from midfield. Biaka Batuka going up the middle. He goes to the 40, and that could be a first down. And if so, we'll stop the clock at 2:06. Well, they let it run down to 2:01. It's still running.
They didn't pick up the first down.
Well, he owes him some time, doesn't he?
Well, did he make the first down? No, he's going to measure.
But he lost about 7, I think at least 7 seconds. Didn't make it, or did he? That much. Well, what about the time? The clock didn't stop until 1:57. Well, it's gone. 3rd and a couple of inches. Batuka in the backfield. And the Nittany Lions are just flat hunkering down along that line of scrimmage. Gelsheiser standing right in the middle. Batuka is hit behind the line of scrimmage by the swarming Nittany Lions, and it's 4th down. Bill Yaboa Cody was the first man to get through there. What a big defensive play that was.
And it's a good disguise because Yaboa Cody is right here. Now watch him as he's going to. You don't think he's going to come. Now he slides in. And there's nobody to block him. If there'd been somebody over there, Collins would have checked to run the other way or thrown the football. It was a nice disguise. Now it comes down to one play, 4th and 3.
32 on the clock. 1:32 on the
Penn State's remaining schedule is one of considerable interest if they win this ball game, because the schedule has a week off and then Ohio State, and Sandusky is immersed in this particular moment. Then they have Indiana and Illinois on the road. Illinois on November 12th at Champaign. Then they finish at home at Northwestern and Michigan State. So they are in the catbird seat.
They don't play Wisconsin.
They do not play Wisconsin. Michigan, on the other hand, certainly does. They play at Illinois next week. Then they have Wisconsin back here. Then Purdue on the road, Minnesota at home, and Ohio State in Columbus. So Michigan has what one would consider the tougher schedule. But the point to be made is both these teams have to play at Illinois. Wheatley is back. It is 4th and 2.
3 wide receivers. Penn State is playing run.
Pressure coming. Collins steps up. Now throws. And it is intercepted by Penn State. Brian Miller got the ball.
He would have had it. Penn State is playing run right in here. You got one-on-one on the outside. You just drop back and throw a quick out. Either way, you might have it. Looks like he's looking for the slot receiver. He's looking left. I don't think he could see him because of the pass protection, because it certainly was there immediately.
Well, I think they got a celebration penalty call on him, didn't they? Well, the celebration call would fall into the unsportsmanlike category for the lack of a term, but Joe is really mad. He is really mad.
I didn't see any of the players.
And he's leading.
Yeah. I didn't see if any of the players from the sideline were out there.
So it's first down Penn State now with just 1:26 remaining. And Mike Archie carries and is taken down right at the line of scrimmage. Now we get a timeout call. Save all the precious seconds you can. And it's Michigan who spins it. And that's their last one. They have none remaining. Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. And marched it in for the touchdown on a pass from Kerry Collins, who's had a big day, to Bobby Ingram. And that was the tie-breaking touchdown. The halftime score was Penn State 16 and Michigan 3. And the Nittany Lions had dominated play in the first half. Michigan exploded in the third quarter to get back into it and finally got to the tie. And now they trail by 7. Penn State trying to run out the clock. Kerry Collins buying all the time he can buy before he goes into his hook slide and gets the clock running.
No threat of throwing the ball, just wanted to use up some time and then fall down.
Penn State came in ranked number 3 in the nation. Florida, number 1, was defeated today. Nebraska won their ball game against Kansas State 17-6, I believe it was. Colorado is playing Oklahoma tonight. Michigan came into the ball game ranked number 5 in the country. Notre Dame was a loser to BYU today. So as injuries mount up on teams in the middle of the season, we're getting some surprising scores. Auburn remains the holder of the longest winning string in the country after their victory today in Gainesville, Florida. Kerry Collins running backwards, killing time. Now the clock is going to roll away. The Penn State faithful all gathered there in that end of the end zone will help toll it off. And Gary Moeller will walk across the field to shake the hand of Joe Paterno as the Penn State Nittany Lions come into Ann Arbor before a crowd of 106,800 and some win the ball game by a score of 31-24. The genuine Chevrolet most valuable players of the game are Kajana Carter of Penn State and Tyrone Wheatley of Michigan. Chevrolet donating $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and to help those in financial need. The Big Ten standings now at the conclusion of this ball game look like this. Penn State on top. Purdue holds on to second place after their tie with Wisconsin today. Michigan drops into a 2-1 tie with Indiana, Ohio State, and Illinois. Penn State is off next week. Michigan goes to Champaign next Saturday. Keith Jackson, Bob Greasy, Lynn Swan, we hope you enjoyed today's ball game. Won by Penn State over Michigan, 31-24.
This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.